So basically since I was born, I have been watching the movie Cars. I loved this movie as a kid and I still love this movie now. My mom also says that I'm the biggest fan of this movie, and I believe her. With that being said, I wanted to explain why I think Pixar's Cars trilogy is actually an amazing trilogy. Yes, even Cars 2. The original Cars movie came out in June of 2006, so I was negative 1 years old. And ever since I can remember, I have always watched this movie. Every other week from ages 3 to 6 years old, I would watch this movie. Yes, I loved it that much. With that out of the way, let me explain what this movie is actually about. Cars begins with an egomaniac rookie race car named Lightning McQueen racing in the final race of the Piston Cup season, which takes place in the Motor Speedway of the South. During the race, which I think was very well animated with a lot of attention to detail put into the race, McQueen is shown dominating the race in every way possible by passing everyone without competition. It is here where we are introduced to McQueen's top competition, Chick Hicks, voiced by Michael Keaton, and Strip the King Weathers, voiced by NASCAR veteran Richard Petty, both of whom are tied with McQueen in points heading into the final race of the Piston Cup season. Strip Weathers is a racing legend, while Chick Hicks is always second behind the King, and should have been kicked out of the race years ago, and dreams of getting sponsored by Dynaco. After this, Chick Hicks causes a massive pileup that basically involves every car, except for McQueen and the King. McQueen somehow evades the wreck, and avoids taking a pit stop while everyone else does, shocking everyone. McQueen later takes a pit stop, but refuses McQueen later takes a pit stop, but refuses to take tires and only fuels up with gas. A move that would later set up the plot for the movie. So then we cut to the final lap of the race, in which McQueen has the lead by an entire lap. He looks like he has this race in the bag, until McQueen loses a tire, raising the stakes a little bit, which I think worked. After losing another tire, McQueen, in the last-ditch effort, hops to the finish line, which later results in a tie, with a race in California which a race in California will ultimately decide. After this comes one of the best travel montages in animated history. Set to Rascal Flatts' Life is a Highway. I cherished this scene as a kid and still do today. While traveling to California, McQueen tries to convince his truck driver, Mac, to stay up all night and to not stop driving until they reach California, breaking several road safety violations. After this, McQueen falls asleep, and with the help of the living embodiment of teenage drivers driving unsupervised, McQueen gets knocked outside of Mac, and since he's never touched grass outside of a racetrack, he ends up confusing every semi-truck for Mac. This leads to McQueen getting lost in the small town of Radiator Springs, but not before one of the movie's best one-liners.
I'm telling you, man, every third blink is slower.
The 60s weren't good to you, were they?
McQueen then tears up the road and then gets impounded. The next morning, we are introduced to Mater, one of the best characters.
My name's Mater.
Mater?
Yeah, like Mater, but without the tuh.
Later, McQueen gets taken to the courthouse, where we meet Doc, the town judge, and Doctor, along with Sally.
She's a town attorney and my fiancée.
What?
Along with that, Sally convinces Doc to help fix the road. After that, Sally convinces Doc that McQueen should help fix the road. But before that, we get one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Maybe I should have hooked him up to Bessie, then took the boot off.
And yes, McQueen does in fact swear in this movie.
Don't leave me here! I'm in hillbilly hell!
After that, McQueen gains the motivation to fix the road, but ends up making the road even worse. Doc then challenges McQueen to a race, and if he wins, McQueen leaves. The race goes as well, and if McQueen wins, he leaves. The race goes as well as you expect. The next day, McQueen actually does a good job at fixing the road, and Doc finds McQueen trying to turn on dirt. Doc advises McQueen that he should try turning right to go left. McQueen spits in his face at this idea, but tries and fails, resulting in yet another funny moment in the movie. In the next scene, Mater takes McQueen tractor tipping, which leads to McQueen disturbing Frank the bulldozer, and Frank chases both McQueen and Mater out of the tractor field. Mater then demonstrates backwards driving, and the two have a heart-to-heart talk about each other's dreams, which leads to a very wholesome quote by Mater.
I knew it. I knowed I made a good choice.
In what?
My best friend.
Sally then tells McQueen that he should keep his promise to Mater, and that Mater trusts him. The next day, McQueen enters Doc's garage and discovers that Doc is in fact the fabulous Hudson Hornet. He then tells everyone.
They say it was amazing. He won 3 Piston Cups.
He did what in his cup?
Sally then takes McQueen to the Wheelwell Motel, where we learn about the history of Radiator Springs. And it is actually very heartbreaking. McQueen then finds Doc trying out racing and confronts him about it. Doc then explains that after his big crash in 1954, he went back to the circuit and the others there said he was not good enough to race anymore, and he does not want anything to do with the racing world, which is why he wants McQueen out of town so badly. The next day, McQueen fixes the road, helps everyone in town, throws a party to some 50s music, and everything seems fine and dandy. Until the press shows up and takes McQueen to California, making everyone sad. Doc regrets making McQueen leave town and takes everyone to the race as McQueen's pit crew. At the race, McQueen is struggling to keep focus since he cannot stop thinking about Radiator Springs. After Doc tells McQueen that the whole town is there supporting him, he gets motivated. We cut to later in the race where Chick pops one of McQueen's tires. Knowing that this could hurt their chances at winning the race, Guido the forklift changes all 4 tires, even though he only needs to change 1 tire. In record time, knocking off Chick Hicks's pit crew's mustaches. We then cut to the final lap, in which McQueen saves himself from spinning out and takes the lead. Chick is not too thrilled with finishing behind the king and crashes him. This reminds McQueen of Doc's crash, and McQueen sacrifices his win to help the king, reminding him that, quote, "It's just an empty cup." Everyone starts cheering McQueen on as he is being a good sport and simultaneously hating Chick Hick for crashing the king. McQueen returns to Radiator Springs, giving Mater a helicopter ride, and an actual Ferrari shows up at Luigi's tire shop.
Life.
And everything is perfect. Overall, this movie still holds up, even to this day. I think the reason this movie holds up is because it's just a fun family movie with a good message, and I think the reason this movie holds up is because it's just a fun family movie with a good message and that anyone can enjoy. Positives for this movie are the comedy, with jokes for everyone, and are still funny today. The moral of the story is also timeless and important. The characters are also likable and fun. Even Chick Hicks was one of my favorite characters. NASCAR fans will enjoy this film with all the racing celebrities and racing references. Everyone did a great job voice acting, and the animation was also solid. Up next, Cars 2.